What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. I heard a joke earlier that just it's still making me laugh. Before the game, they were talking, pitch side. It was Robbie Mustoe, no, Arlo White, Graham Lasso, and Kyle Martino. And Graham was talking about, under Hiddink how Mikel has been playing well. He's been playing well. What on earth? Do we not freaking get it? Like, I'm starting this review early. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. One, if you're wondering how this review is taking place, one, there's still 7 minutes left in the game. Man City's already up 3-0. The game's over. Two, my knee hurts. So if I start to grimace in pain, it's because my knee hurts. And three, I don't understand how people can look at this Chelsea team and not see the problems. One, Mikel. The first goal, completely his fault. 100% his fault. Because he gets the ball in the middle of the field, and instead of taking a simple touch, instead of passing out wide, he tries to do something fancy, loses it to Aguero, jogs back as Aguero's charging down the field. You go get the freaking ball! You go back and get the ball! You do not stand there and jog back while they break and go score. I don't give a crap anymore. I'm so sick of watching him play, watching him stand around and do nothing, and goal after goal after goal because Mikel keeps playing. Matic is on the bench. Use him. He's a better player all around. He's a better defensive player especially, and that's what you want him in there for. You want that player to hold back defensively, to hold that defensive line. And what's going on? Mikel's jogging back. He's walking. He's standing top of the box. He's not doing a freaking thing. And I'm sick of watching it. I've gotten to the point now where every time I see him on the field, I just want to throw something at the freaking TV. I want to go find Hiddink and I want to strangle the freaking life out of him because he has no freaking clue what he's doing. And it goes beyond Mikel. That's the thing. It goes well beyond Mikel. It's not just, it doesn't stop at him. You look at our defensive line, it's crap. Okay, it is just absolute crap. I don't understand. I do understand one. We didn't get a fullback. We got rid of Felipe Luis, and we brought in this Baba Rahman kid who didn't really prove himself. And he still hasn't proved himself. He's still useless. He's weak. He has speed, which he never uses because he's always getting beat. He's useless. Ivanovic, useless as a fullback, useless as a center back. I cannot count on one hand how many times in the past 5 games that he has been beaten behind. It happened like 3 times today in the first half. Ball goes in behind, he's like, oh no, there he goes. And he's useless. And all I can think watching him play is, how have we not signed John Terry to a new contract yet? Because Terry would be putting his body on the line. He'd be sliding and knocking the ball away. He'd be doing everything he could to make sure that ball does not get in behind him. On the second goal, on Aguero's second goal, Mikel and Ivanovic both just kind of stood there, watched the ball go in behind to Aguero. Do something! Do something! Don't just stand there. Do something! Like, I'm yelling that for most of the game. At Ivanovic, at Mikel, well, not Cahill. He did a few good things. But at most of the team, I'm just yelling, do something. I'm watching Costa and Loftus-Cheek up top, both just kind of jog around. That's not... Whenever they play well, it's whenever they're putting pressure. They are putting good pressure. They're not just standing. They're not just watching the defense pass. No, they normally put good pressure. Costa today, just watched him play. Completely useless today. Loftus-Cheek, he looks good when he's on the ball, but whenever they've got the ball, he just stands and watches. How can you do that? How can you be out there and be a player and just have a passion for the game and just want to stand and watch while the other team plays with the ball? How can that mindset even work if you want to be a professional player? I don't get that. Maybe it's not just me. That's the thing. It's not just me. I've seen players. I coach at a high school. I see our players there putting more effort in when the other team's got the ball to get it back than I see most of these players doing. I mean, it's frustrating to watch. Man City has so much time on the ball because we're not doing a thing. Mikel is standing, Fabregas is standing, Loftus-Cheek is standing, Costa is standing, Branislav is standing. They're all standing. And I'm having to watch them just stand. As a fan, that's frustrating. As a neutral, that would be frustrating. You go to watch this game and one team is just standing around, not hardly defending. That's not entertainment. That's nothing. That's doing nothing. You're getting paid to do nothing. They need to do something about this. Hiddink has got to step up and say, hey, look, you guys are getting paid to do something. Go out there and do it. Because it's clear that he's not inspiring them at all. It's clear that he's not doing anything that's getting them motivated. Because they don't look motivated. Let me watch for about 3 seconds. Pass. Bad touch. Pass. Take a slow touch. Pass. Now we're slowed it down. Now we're dribbling. Now, Man City, they're 3 goals up. They're still putting more pressure on us than we put on them the whole game. And it's a minute left. That should tell you something right there. So, the players themselves, frustrating. Hiddink is a freaking moron. Okay, offsides, right? Yeah. I can't even begin to describe how frustrating it is to be watching this game and for the entire first half be thinking, okay, yeah, Pedro and Willian are doing well. First half started off well. We started off well. We were going fast. It was back and forth. But once Man City figured out that's what we were doing, we were going back and forth, they started sitting back and just countering on us. But even after that, Pedro and Willian were the 2 players that were making things happen. Pedro was tearing it up on the left side. Honestly, Zabaleta should have gotten a red. But the referee did that stupid thing where, because Zabaleta was on a yellow already, instead of giving him a second yellow for a yellow card challenge, he said, okay, this is your last warning. Of course, Pellegrini next second is like, okay, let's get him subbed off. So that was stupid. But Pedro caused that. He was tearing Zabaleta apart. Zabaleta could not handle him. And I'm just like, go Pedro. You're doing a great... Willian? God, the first half I was thinking, wow. Willian, he's come to play today. He has come to play today. Yeah, he was tearing it up. He was going at them with speed. He was making those runs down. He was getting back and defending as well. I'm just thinking, dang, Willian. And then the first 2 subs, I hear Kennedy and Traore. And I'm thinking both wing, one's a wing, one's a forward. Which wing are you going to take off? They're both playing great. That was my thought. I was thinking, okay, so Costa's coming off because he's done nothing today. So I was thinking, okay, that's fine. But then I'm thinking, okay, so Kennedy's coming on. He's a wing player. Which wing how are you going to take off one of the 2 wings? How are you going to choose between the 2 wings? They're both playing well today. I guess, Willian hasn't done much in the past 10 minutes, but he's still more effective than most of the other players out there. Pedro's still looking live. How are you going to... And then he takes off both wings. Really? It's like he's joking with us. It's like he's trolling us. He's just sitting there and he's making these decisions. And he's got his little notepad. And it's like he's making jokes with his coaching staff. He's sitting there writing on... He's like, wow, Pedro and Willian are 2 best players. And he's like, guys, what if we decided to take off Pedro and Willian? And then his coaching staff takes him seriously and actually takes off Pedro and Willian. That's got to be what happened, right? Because there's no other logical reason to take off Pedro and Willian. They're the best players today. They were our best players today. They were making stuff happen. They were working hard defensively. You take them off. Now we've got nothing. Kennedy admittedly came on and worked hard, but he's a one man. He's one man, not a one man. He's one man. He can't do it. And technically he's kind of a kid, but he can't do it on his own. And you're going to just throw him out there and be like, all right, Kennedy, just go run. He can't do all that on his own. And you put on Traore at wing when he's been much more effective at his striker position. It's like he doesn't think. It's... As you can clearly see, I'm clearly frustrated. And my main frustration comes from the fact that we still could have gotten something out of... Actually, technically, probably not. Based on our last games that we have. We have 3 difficult games coming up soon. But our season was not yet over. And now it's like we have literally nothing to fight for anymore. Before it was like, okay, maybe, just maybe we can get into 7th place. Maybe, if we work really hard, and maybe Man City will win the FA Cup, maybe we can get into, or, not Man City. We knocked them out. Who's left? There's one team that was left that could possibly win it. I think it's Man U. Like, if Man U wins, that 7th place is open. So maybe, just maybe, we can go and we can get in 7th place. Man U could win the FA Cup, and then we're still in Europa. So that way we still have Europe next year. And then they just came out today. They worked hard, but it doesn't matter because we've got Mikel in. We've got Ivanovic in. We've got Baba in. Costa wasn't playing well today. Fabregas wasn't playing well today. Matic is on the bench. What do you expect? The only hope that we can derive from this game is that maybe this time they will actually look at the tapes. Because it's clear they haven't been watching the tapes of their past few games. Because if they had, these problems would have already fixed themselves. We would not be still having the same issues game after game. Mikel would not be playing if they were actually watching the tapes and really taking stats, looking at what's going on. How did we lose that last game? Mikel. It would not happen if they were watching the tapes after the game. If they went back and watched it and kind of talked with it. None of these problems we've been having would still be happening. So maybe after this game they will finally go and look at the tapes and think, okay, getting beat 3-0 at home by Man City is not good enough. Like, that is not good enough. That is just embarrassing and appalling. Especially, it's not even just we got beat by Man City. We got beat by Man City after they had to play midweek against PSG. So it's not, they're also tired and weakened from a midweek game, and we got beat 3-0 at home. And our defense was pitiful. Our midfield was pitiful because we've got Ivanovic and Baba and Mikel. It's all pitiful. Why can't we fix that? And if I absolutely guarantee 100% you can take this to the bank and write a check based on this statement, because I guarantee Mikel's still going to be starting next week. I guarantee it. Because Hiddink just is that blind. He does not see it. He does not, for some reason he looks at Mikel and sees he's our star player. The only reason he took him off after Courtois' red card for Begovic is because he was on a yellow. That was it. It wasn't because Mikel was playing horribly today, because that happens every game and he never gets taken off. I guarantee it was because he has a yellow and he was starting to just kick players. That's the only reason. Because Hiddink is a freaking moron. And honestly, I think we need to get rid of him sooner rather than later. I would rather have Steve Holland be the coach be the manager up until the end, the interim. I'd rather have him step up and manage for the rest of the season than have Hiddink continually just be a moron game after game. And just, at least in this season, not necessarily on a high note, but end it on a good note. End it on a note where we've actually done something. And we're not just walking around just, who cares? I don't know. I've about said all I can say. Obviously, this is a bit more of a frustrated review than normal, but it's gotten to the point where it's got to stop. Like this, the 1-0 loss to Swansea last week was embarrassing. This one was humiliating. Watching them just get crushed, it's it was humiliating because they had no chance at all, and that's not good enough. So those are my opinions. Obviously, some of you are going to agree with what I said. Some of you are going to disagree with not necessarily what I said, but who I'm blaming for it. You know, a lot of Chelsea fans for some reason love Mikel just because of how loyal he's been to the club. Doesn't matter. He's a horrible player. So anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. We can discuss it. You know, I can tell you how wrong you are for loving Mikel. Leave a like and subscribe for the rest of this crappy season review, and I'll see you at the next game. Peace out.